Of the Wisconsin Badgers. Wisconsin's lost 4 of their last 5 games. They need to have a good taste in their mouth right ahead of another dose of conference play.
The good news is they're at home, and they played well at home, and they're going to want to continue to do the same right now.
Got ready to tip things off. Nate Reavers and Amir Allen. And it's Reavers who wins the tip. New shiner on his right eye. Practice. That's where that came from, as Dimitri Trice feeds to Reavers. And off we go from Madison. Trying to find some consistency on this end of the floor for Wisconsin offensively. Kobe King, who we highlighted earlier in the broadcast, has been outstanding. 5 to shoot, Trice for 3, and Dimitri knocks down his first of the afternoon.
And that's encouraging because he's really shot a poor percentage from 3, but he's known to be a streaky shooter. Last year he started the season 55% after the first 15 games. That's encouraging for the Badgers early.
Dimitri Trice took just 2 shots the entire game against Rutgers as Tejan Lucas. The good look. That's C.J. Wilborn, couldn't get it to go, and Kobe King. And the Badgers were off and running, but a fumbled pass there by Dimitri Trice, but he did knock down this shot moments ago.
And this was late in the shot clock, and it wasn't exactly a ton of space for him, but for him to elevate, rise up, and hit a tough one early is what you want to see happen.
Dimitri Trice coming in, averaging just under 8 points a game. And we're going to get a push on Dimitri Trice as Tejan Lucas was driving.
And he's not the only guy that's going to go. Darius Roy's going to go. Josh Thomas is going to go. Milwaukee has guards that can get into the paint, and it was the correct call. Tejan Lucas going hard early, drawing the foul, setting the tone.
It's a team that scores a lot of points, averages 73.5 points a game. Here's Darius Roy, and his first shot off the back of the iron, and ends up in the hands of the Panthers. They like to crash the offensive glass as well. Team that's put up 100 points a couple of different times already. Lucas lost it, got it back, and a tie-up is going to stay with Milwaukee. Pat Baldwin was the head coach of the Milwaukee Panthers in his 3rd season. Everybody knows him, was at Northwestern for 4 years, been around a long time, and a guy that you know very well, Ben.
I'm very appreciative of him actually finding me in my youth of days. My first offer was when he was at Loyola, and he's got a rich history with this program as well. He coached with Howard Moore, definitely a great guy, and runs a pretty tight ship as a program. Milwaukee,
tough year last year, 9-22 as Aleem Ford comes away with a turnover and a foul on his drive. And Aleem Ford is going to go to the line, trying to, again, try and find some consistency with Aleem Ford. Down sophomore year after a great freshman season.
And what's interesting is the first possession they give up an offensive rebound, Wisconsin does, and you look over at Greg Gard, he wants to already lose it because he's seeing things that he saw last game. But then you see a tie-up, then you see Aleem Ford win a loose ball. Those are the things that are going to be the difference for Wisconsin.
Doing the little things. That's what Greg Gard and this program has thrived on the last 21 years. 5-5, and as a Badger fan, you might be looking at that record and going, oh my goodness, how can this team be 5-5 right now? It's still so early.
And why it doesn't hurt is because they challenge themselves. They have a pretty tough strength of schedule, so as long as you're not losing to, horrible bottom of the funnel teams, you're going to be all right.
C.J. Wilborn off the back of the iron, and here comes Wisconsin again. The losses to New Mexico, those hurt, but they're not backbreakers. Came out with a big win against Indiana. Still their only loss of the season in conference play as Trice drives. Trice with 5 early points. And Pat Baldwin does not like what he sees out of his defensive alignment. Trice is off to a great start.
Patrick Baldwin went right to Amir Allen, probably because the scouting report says that Dimitri Trice traditionally is really good with his right hand. He wants to pull up or get to the rim. He got too high. When Amir Allen gets too high, Trice is fast enough to get the corner, to use the angle, and again, that's so encouraging for Badger fans because Dimitri Trice is really shooting a poor percentage from the field, getting him going early. His streakiness is going to be key for them to winning big games.
And for Wisconsin, boy, are they happy to be back here at the Kohl Center. You see the numbers there, Ben. They are a totally different team. This is Jekyll and Hyde, home and road.
And I think what's frustrating for the coaching staff is the basket's the same wherever you go. The size of the arena is. But if you show you can do this one place, they're going to continue to coach you till they get it out of you on the road or on a neutral site. And it's traditionally not something that's a Badger program struggles with. So they're trying to find different ways to communicate and get their guys encouraged. And motivated to play on the road.
Another silver lining. Big Ten play, not a lot of road wins. How about just one? So they were not alone in going somewhere and losing in that first batch of conference games.
And people point to Rutgers, right? They're like, how do you lose to Rutgers? Rutgers is a very solid program. They've won a lot of games at home. They just beat Seton Hall at home. And again, college basketball this year is nuts. Because I could say, hey, Rutgers beat Seton Hall by 20. Then Seton Hall beat Maryland by 4. This is the world we live in. You got to come up and show up for every single game.
Everybody's on scholarship. Everybody gives them away, and we get a foul, and Brad Davison is hobbled a bit. Tejon Lucas fouled Davison.
He swiped and got a little bit of the face, might have got the eye.
Cleanup crew over by the logo, and take another look at Davison. Right there, right across his face. Tejon Lucas, transfer from Illinois, checking on Davison, making sure he's okay, slapping fives, and back we go. Ford, good ball fake. Now Trice from the wing. And Trice feeling it early, 3 for 3.
And you mentioned, Jeff, he had 2 shots at Rutgers. That's a confidence thing. He hit his first 2 shots. If he's not making those first 2, I think he pump fakes. Has confidence, rise and fire.
Darius Roy had it knocked away into the hands of Reavers. And the Wisconsin defense swarming early. On a 9-0 run to start this game. It's going to be out of bounds, going to stay with the Badgers. And again, confidence is what it's all about for Demetric Trice.
And it was a great pick and pop by Aleem. He then pump faked, drew Demetric Trice's guy over. Tejon Lucas helped as much as he could, but he couldn't leave his guy wide open. Demetric Trice making the right decision, knocking it down.
Such a different team shooting here at the Kohl Center. Is Davison now from the corner. And that one wouldn't fall for the Badgers, their first miss of the evening. Panthers want to get it, and they want to go. A little bit of help with DeAndre Abram back on the floor. Darius Roy, Davison on him, trying to create some space. 8 to shoot. Thomas drives, and Thomas with a tough shot.
Really good initial defense by Brad Davison. He noticed he needed to switch, but then Josh Thomas, that's what I was talking about. He's a guy who's going to find his way to the rim and create angles just because he's that strong.
Thomas from Chicago, and the crowd realizing who's taking their sweats off. Micah Potter about ready to check in. Is Reavers with the left hand? No. And Tejon Lucas got undercut by Brad Davison.
You mentioned Nate Reavers, Micah Potter. Nate Reavers is going to benefit from Micah Potter. He's played a lot of minutes early on in this season. Looks really tired at times, but Micah Potter is going to open up a lot for him.
Well, there he is. Transfer from Ohio State. And I bet you he is fired up to be touching the floor for the first time since St. Patrick's Day 2018.
I bet he's nervous, and how you beat the nerves is you do little things like be available on the help side so DeAndre Abram doesn't get the dunk.
It was not a good help from Micah Potter, but see what he does on this end of the floor. Give Nate Reavers a little bit of a break before the under-16 timeout. There is Potter, gets a touch on the offensive end. That feel like his college debut all over again. He's isolated. Potter goes with the left hand, short. And a rebound pulled in by Sessoms. Now a 3 by Tejon Lucas. And here come the Panthers. 7-0 run by Milwaukee.
You got to be ready at all times. Tejon Lucas, he's smiling right now. He's talking. You don't want to give a guy like him confidence.
Guy from Washington High School in Milwaukee is Kobe King. His first shot is short, followed him. King feeds to Potter. Potter got it blocked. Into the hands of Anderson. Extra pass, Kobe King, and he got fouled. Boy, he was ready to get himself set for a poster.
I think DJ got him on the charge there.
And he did, went right into the chest. It's an offensive foul. Demetric Trice off to a great start, though, for Wisconsin.
Early signs that you want to see coming off pick and roll and hitting an open 3 with confidence. Badgers need him to continue this. Rolling early, but Milwaukee coming back.
This seat sits at the center of the arena. For those who never get snowed in or washed out, who prefer momentum over gravity. But this seat is not for spectators.
Well-qualified lessees can now lease the all-new 2020 Jeep Gladiator for $300 a month.
Doesn't that cloud right there look like a penguin?
Really? That looks exactly like a busted pipe spewing water everywhere.
Can you just stop being an insurance agent for like 2 seconds?
It's my job to think about these things.
Well, what does that cloud look like?
That looks just like your house. That's being burglarized. They're stealing your TV right there. Oh, and right there, it's a bear destroying your car.
You need a vacation. Soon. Very soon.
You know, Chris, some of us don't have an off-season.
Hey, all set for the holidays?
I still need that special gift for Elena.
A new phone on Verizon's network. Best Buy will activate it for you. You walk out ready to go.
Wish I was Elena.
Christmas trees try so hard. Lights and ornaments and little choo-choo trains, come on. The best trees, they kind of only need 2 things. Peanut butter and chocolate. Not sorry, Reese's.
Sheriff Bradford suffered a serious heart attack. What? County charter states that the longest-serving member of his mounted posse shall serve as acting sheriff.
You gotta be kidding me. I wish we were.
You need 3 things to do this job. Badge, a gun, and what's in your heart.
Go rescue now!
All it takes is one person. Maybe that person is you.
Next, Cassius Winston and the Spartans.
Ready, move, Cassius Winston.
Take the floor for action against Eastern Michigan. Big Ten basketball presented by Jeep continues next on BTN and the Fox Sports app.
If it happens in the Big Ten, the Big Show has it covered. Highlights from around the conference, in-depth analysis, and a recap of the news-making headlines. The Big Show, tonight on BTN and the Fox Sports app.
2-point lead for the Badgers at home. Milwaukee Panthers on a 7-0 run right now, but we're talking about Micah Potter. Much anticipated debut, transfer from Ohio State. He hasn't played since St. Patrick's Day 2018. 6:44, and you can't simulate game speed, Ben.
No, and I actually thought he did a good job. He reposted, he got a touch, got in there deeper. Actually a pretty solid move. Get the nerves out of the way, try and get a rebound. Slow the game down just by doing something positive.
Well, right now being very vocal in the post. Switching on defense. Still Reavers on the bench. There's a 3 by Darius Roy right over the top of Micah Potter, and Milwaukee's got the lead.
Darius Roy is the leading scorer for Milwaukee, and he's a guy who can get buckets as well, just like Dijon Davis did, or Dijon Lucas.
Roy with a career-high 29 earlier this year, and we're going to get a foul underneath. I think we'll get Harrison Henderson with his first personal.
I love the confidence of Kobe King there. He had a guy who was 6'8" on him. He's about 6'4", and he backed him down, played with confidence, and drew the foul. That's what he needs to bring. Again, I'm going to harp on this a lot today. I know he can do it here. Continue to work on it, but do it on the road.
Kobe King trying to find some help. There's Reavers. Pretty basic. Find a guy in the painted area, make a drive, and Reavers high percentage. Abram. And here comes Wisconsin on offense. See a lot more of Trevor Anderson here moving forward. Just over a year removed from his ACL injury. Suffered it in the first conference game against Iowa last year, and a whistle away from the ball.
Scored in double digits against Rutgers, playing with a little bit more confidence. It's a trust thing. When you have an injury like he's had, then have a partial tear, you just got to learn to trust your body, trust your movements again. I think he's starting to get that. And as he grows more confident, I think Coach Gard wants to give him more time.
Trevor Anderson, transfer from UW Green Bay, redshirted after his transfer year and got off to a pretty good start last year. Injury, of course, against Iowa. As Brevin Pritzl on the floor fires away from 3.
We're going to harp on this a lot. Tale of 2 different people. Brevin Pritzl loves playing at home, loves shooting at home, and something that Coach Gard wants him to continue to work on is just catching and shooting. And he did that. He caught it, he squared, felt confident, shot it.
Fritzl trying to get around the screen. Abram ran into Reavers. Good help. Now the three by Milwaukee, drained by Courtney Brown, the freshman.
And that's just knowing the scouting report. All he is as a freshman is a good three-point shooter. Tyler Wall, also a freshman. Got to read the scouting report.
Brown at 38% from beyond the arc from Cottage Grove, Minnesota. Wall, entry pass to Reavers, and he's fouled. Will Sessoms. Exchanging threes, Wisconsin and Milwaukee. Fritzl first.
Simply just setting a screen, coming off a screen, squared up, knocked it down. And Tyler Wall just not ready. When he sees Abram pick up the ball, he needs to close out a little bit closer to not give enough space.
Tough entry pass by Trevor Anderson, and it leads to the breakout by Thomas and Milwaukee. They're back out in front by a point.
Not exactly the start you want to see from Wisconsin, turning the ball over. Again, Milwaukee has guys who can go. Josh Thomas showed again. Tijon Lucas got the ball, got it up ahead in space, finished on the other end.
Thomas is so well built, I should say, from the belt down, as Anderson got himself in the paint, got a pair. Thomas can be a matchup nightmare just because of that big trunk.
You see Davison on him. Pretty strong guard, probably the right matchup, but so far Thomas has won early in the game.
Good crossover by Thomas, and the floater short. Lean Ford pulls down the rebound. Ford trying to drive on Thomas, fades away. Lean Ford, that has been his last couple of seasons.
Yeah, and if he's going to drive baseline that early in the shot clock, I don't think Greg Gard wants the fadeaway, right? He's fine with the drive, but if you don't have a shot, he can get that one later in the shot clock.
Spinning Tijon Lucas. Thomas. 10 to shoot. Trying to get around Reavers. And now Abram. And with 5 on the shot clock, Sessoms.
Well, it was pretty good offense by Milwaukee. Josh Thomas comes off the ball screen. He saw 2 guys were with him, threw back, and Wisconsin was just rotating. And Milwaukee playing with some energy here. They got a lot of upperclassmen. They're not going to be shocked by the environment.
A little bit of a lazy pass right there, but Wisconsin bailed out of bounds off of Milwaukee. Trice going to check back in for Anderson. Trice has had the hot hand with 8.
And when you mention Trice, Jeff, what's good for him is if he sees Trevor Anderson playing well in practice, playing well in games, that's going to elevate him in the competition in practice, make him know he's got to earn every second on the floor.
Nothing makes you better than competition, right?
No, there isn't anything.
Trying to post Davison on Abram. Into the corner. 5 to shoot, Reavers. Off the front of the iron. Here come the Panthers. Darius Roy with the ball. Panther team at 5 and 6. Tough fadeaway shot from Darius Roy with a side spin.
Right now, it's just Milwaukee winning one-on-one battles and just overall playing better basketball.
24 points in a loss against Eastern Illinois, and it's one thing that this Panther team has lacked, has gotten off to a good start as Lean Ford ties the game with a 3. A totally different team. If you play better at the beginning and the outset of the contest, Milwaukee would be a much better record.
Yeah, they've lost 4 straight, and a lot of them by 1 possession, and a lot of that is attributed to slower starts. So they know they can come back. They've done that, but now they're going to play in an opportunity where they're up, and actually a good foul by Henderson as Nate Reavers had an open dunk if he didn't foul there.
Take a quick timeout. We're tied 19-19, 10:56 to play here at the Kohl Center in Madison.
Home. It's so much more than a house. It's where family gets together and traditions are made. By making the complex simple, Rocket Mortgage created a home buying experience centered around you, so you can turn your dream into reality and your house into home. Rocket Mortgage. Push button, get mortgage.
No matter how early you're up or how late you're running, when you start your day at Speedway, we've got what you need to have a good morning. We've got it hot. We've got it cold. We've got it sprinkled. We've got it ready. No matter where you're heading or what you're craving, we're here to make your morning a little better. Because when you get off to a better start, you go on to a better day.
At T-Mobile, we're lighting up 5G. And when you buy a Samsung Note 10 Plus 5G, you get one free. Plus, you can experience it on the nation's largest 5G network. So you can stay connected like this, score a last-minute this, get home easier like this, and share all of this with that. So do this on that with us. And now, buy a Samsung Note 10 Plus 5G and get one free when you add a line.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Big Ten Conference and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Big Ten Conference.
Progress is an endless challenge. Here at the University of Wisconsin, we're a community of innovators in constant motion. We think on our feet, connect with each other, and hit our stride, pushing past limits. Progress is an endless challenge, but it is only those up to the challenge who change the game.
Tie game 19-19 here in Madison, and a moment before the game that really tugged on the heartstrings. Of course, the tragic accident on Memorial Day this last year. Howard Moore, the longtime assistant at Wisconsin, an exchanging of the Do More bracelets between UWM and Wisconsin. And the Badgers have been paying tribute to Howard Moore all year long, and great to see Pat Baldwin, a great friend of Howard Moore, doing the same.
Yeah, anyone who's had the opportunity to get to know Howard is going to do something like this because you know how great of a person he is and how he touched individuals. It's just awesome to see Patrick Baldwin, the Big Ten community, everyone just brace on to Howard, and he's still going to keep fighting, I'll tell you that much.
No, that will never stop. And if you ever want to help out the Moore family, text the word Moore to the number 69050. That's how you can help out the Moore Foundation as well.
There's a nice way for Micah Potter to maybe get going. Even though he's already nervous, a 1-on-1 doesn't exactly make you feel, cozy and comfy inside.
At the line, and his first points in 2 seasons.
It's a long time, and the lid might be off the rim now. He really hasn't done anything that warrants anything to stand out. Oh, how did he do this? He's getting settled in. He's going to be a solid player for the Badgers. He does do things that this team has needed. He's rebounding. He's athletic. He's going to mix it up defensively. That's something that they need desperately.
I tell you, during that whole process where he was trying to get his waiver through the NCAA, he handled it as professionally as you could have asked. As Abram banks it in, he's shaking his head. He can't believe it, but he'll take all 3 of them.
Well, he hasn't played 2 games, but he is a shooter. I don't care. Look, if it hits the backboard, if it hits the rim, if it hits the ground and goes in, it doesn't matter. If it goes in, you got to be aware of where he is at all times.
Averaging nearly 10 points a game, the senior DeAndre Abram.
Thought Potter got grabbed by Brown.
Leads to Milwaukee on a breakout. Here comes Roy. Tough pass over the top of Ford. Lucas, nice move by Tijon Lucas.
And Milwaukee is eating the Badgers up in the pick and roll game. He got Micah Potter where he extended his left leg forward, spun off, and finished. He's got game.
That was a very quick spin. Nice feed underneath. Kobe King got it blocked by Abram. And now Kobe King is hobbled.
Ugh.
And that is the last thing you want to see as a Badger fan. He dealt with an ankle injury earlier this season, missed a game against McNeese State.
He's staying upright right now, which is somewhat of a positive sign.
He's going to be monitored. Here's the play again. Just landed a little funky, it looked like.
Nothing too crazy. Hopefully not just like it looks.
Fritzl, good ball fake. Couldn't hit the shot. Reavers battling offensive rebound. Fresh 20. Trice. Nice jump stop.
Nice aggressive move. Again, that's the confidence. It's just making a couple of shots early. If Dimitri Trice misses those, he's not making that move. And anything going to his right. A lot of his baskets are using that right hand, using that power dribble to create momentum. A nice floater.
He has 10 points already. His season high is 11. Abram fades away. Couldn't get the friendly roll that time. 1 point lead for the Panthers. Trice feeds Tyler Wall for 3. Not to be. Tijon Lucas.
There's 2 of them.
Banks in as well for Courtney Brown.
He is a shooter. I mean, that wasn't exactly pretty, but like I said, if it goes in, it doesn't matter.
Milwaukee has come out, and they are firing. We talked about their slow starts, but not this evening. And Wall gets fouled by the freshman Courtney Brown. 1-and-1 now for Wall. And is the bank open on Saturday?
Some are, but I haven't heard anything from the guys. I want to hear someone acknowledge that they're calling bank. I don't think either of them knew it was going to bank, but if it goes in, bottoms.
How many times you bank in threes?
I don't think I banked any in.
Really?
I actually was like hoping I did, right? I would have loved to have gotten stolen one.
Sure.
I've airballed.
But no bank threes.
No bank threes. I'm sure I clanked a couple.
Okay.
No bank threes.
Well, Wall made the first free throw. Kobe King is headed towards the locker room. And he's going to be evaluated as well. Just left a couple moments ago.
Still has a little hobble.
Yeah. Not a good sign for Wisconsin. And
he leads the Badgers with 16 points a game at home. That's just an opportunity for others to step up. Milwaukee continues to use ball screens.
Darius Roy couldn't hit that time. And Tyler Wall pulls down another rebound. Chance to tie or take the lead for Wisconsin. Trice has had a nice game so far. And 8 minutes to play in this first half.
You see it in Darius Roy. They have confidence. They're getting in Dimitri Trice. Wisconsin has not run any offense in the first 17 seconds. Now they're just relying on ball screen.
This is a team, as Trice looking for help in Milwaukee, that played tough against Kansas. As Reavers backing down on Milwaukee.
A flop.
Flop warning on C.J. Wilborn. We're all square. 27 apiece. Time winding down in the first half.
In a world where everything gets a sequel, it's finally time for Geico sequels. Classic Geico heroes starring in 6 new commercials with jaw-dropping savings. Vote for your favorites at geico.com/sequels.
Which way do I go? I don't know. I'm voting for our sequels.
With Geico, the savings keep on going to a screen near you.
Dang woodchucks!
Geico sequels. Vote and enter to win today.
Behold.
Which one's for the TV?
Try this, boss. It's Amazon Fire TV Cube with Alexa voice control. It's easy. Alexa, turn on the TV.
Fantastic. Alexa, play Barry on HBO Now.
What if I train your guys?
Whoopsie.
You don't fight fair, so we're gonna fight harder.
You don't stand a chance.
That's it. You're going down.
We didn't come here to play around.
Honestly, I hate you.
I'm stronger than you.
I'm more determined than you.
We are gonna beat you, Cancer. Because the American Cancer Society is on our team.
And together, we're unstoppable.
My name is Greg Gard.
Fred Hoiberg.
Richard Pitino. Matt Painter.
Steve Peichel. And I'm a coach versus cancer.
If humanity is to become a multiplanetary species and have people living and working on the moon and on Mars, we need to ensure that we can grow food locally for them. 3, 2, 1. We've had 3 successful space launches, and we're the first lab to say that the plants that we engineered for the spaceflight environment grew better than the wild type.
Space is a stressful environment because of the lack of gravity. The Gilroy Lab studies how plants grow in space to better understand what it might take to have strong growth and good yields to support astronaut health. A lot of students at the University of Wisconsin have been involved in helping us explore the research that we're doing with NASA.
We need to work with engineers and computer programmers to develop new tools in order to create stressors on Earth that replicate the spaceflight environment. This work can be used as a roadmap in the future to accelerate the adaptation of plants to the spaceflight environment.
That gentleman right there will be busy next week.
I got to do a lot of shopping still.
I heard about your Christmas list.
Too long.
Well, we're tied, and Kobe King, this is the story as of the last couple of moments. King has not played since he landed on that foot. He went back into the locker room. You see anything there, Ben?
I mean, fast motion, slow motion, I don't see a whole lot. And you mentioned earlier that he missed a game because of an ankle. It could be a re-aggravation of some sort. Don't know the severity, but like you said, he's with a trainer that I'm familiar with, and I know he's going to make whatever decision is best, probably long-term for the Badgers.
Still not on the bench and back in the locker room. Greg Gard had to go without his leading scorer here at home. Tough fadeaway shot that time by Tijon Lucas.
They're playing with swagger right now, and they've played a great game because not only are they making individual plays, they have 6 assists so far. So they're doing it all different ways on the offensive end.
It's a team that shoots at a high percentage. Again, they can fill it up. They put up over 100 2 different times this year. Not an easy thing to do. Pritzel fires away from 3 and short.
I love the idea of him getting it up quick. Could have done it a little bit differently with how much time was left on the clock. Work it around. Next time you get that, pull it.
Josh Thomas going around Reavers, trying to. Reavers, one of the best at doing just that, getting a block. Second try. Not this time again.
Yeah, if you don't throw a pump fake, Josh Thomas about 6'4". Nate Reavers knows how to wait for the guy to jump and time it perfectly.
Blocks with his right, blocks with his left. Now a 3. Good sequence for Reavers.
Reward the big man. Dimitri Trice, impressive that he's making the right decisions coming off the ball screen. When the attack is there, he's taking it. When the pull-up's there, he's done a nice job of feeding different guys as well.
Back out in front, the Badgers. Back and forth we go. First half.
Ooh, yeah.
And we're going to get a bad screen at the top of the key.
CJ Wilborn.
Moments ago, we were talking about Kobe King going into the locker room, and this is a sign of positivity coming back out onto the floor. Whether or not he touches the floor is another story, but at least he's there. And
he's getting up.
Getting closer to checking in, maybe.
Henry Perez-Guerra gave him the thumbs up. That's the stamp of approval in my opinion.
The trainer says you're good to go. I think that's all you need. Trice. And that's his first miss of the evening. Thomas in transition. Now slowing things down. Touchdown to the painted area.
Pretty good transition defense from the Badgers. Tyler Wall with a nice closeout. Used his length to discourage Josh Thomas from pulling from 3.
Down low to Reavers on Sessoms. Backing him down. Too strong on the shot from Reavers. Extra pass into the corner. Roy. Darius Roy having a great night.
And I think Tijon Lucas is doing a phenomenal job. Off of a missed shot, he gets that ball, and he's making the right decisions. When he sees the paint, he attacks. He give that up to Josh Thomas, like the play before. Josh Thomas, extra pass. Boom.
It's the guy, Tijon Lucas, we mentioned, a transfer from Illinois. Reavers, top of the key 3. 2 for his last 2.
Reavers. One of these teams has got to get a stop. That's what it's going to boil down to.
Both these teams shooting at a very high percentage. Milwaukee better than 56%. They're better than 60% from 3. Both teams. Tijon Lucas adding to it.
Yeah, show it. He's showing it all right.
He was showing
They
it.
shoot 31% from 3 right now, doubling that percentage right now.
UWM, they like to play quick. They like to play loose. Tijon Lucas, front center.
Again, he's from Milwaukee, transferred from Illinois. He's familiar with Wisconsin, but he's playing for his family. He's playing for himself. He's playing well.
Pritzel has missed his last 2 from distance. Thomas. And now a whistle, and it's going the other way. An offensive foul on Milwaukee. And they'll get Trevor Anderson back in. Again, Tijon Lucas leading Milwaukee on this run.
He was rewarding himself here. I mean, he's been passing the ball great, pulling up. The way he shot that was like, hey, I've hit a couple. They've given me confidence. I'm going to throw the 3 up in the air. I'm going to kick my feet out just because I have rhythm.
See Kobe King back on the floor, and that left ankle with a little bit more support now. Let's see how he does in his first sequence back. Such an athletic guy. Davison feeds Micah Potter.
Nice read by Davidson. Yeah, when he gets to the paint, a lot of times he's going to look to shoot that, getting Micah involved early.
Tie game 35-35. Just over 4 minutes to play in Wisconsin.
I was wondering where Tejon Lucas is, but Patrick Baldwin probably making the thought process of, hey, if I can get him a quick breather before that under 4 timeout, I can put him right back in coming out of break.
Thomas gives the Panthers the lead again. That's a nice jumper as Thomas, Roy, Lucas. Those are the guys that are getting it done for Milwaukee. You're going to get a foul underneath. And a moment ago, Brad Davison feeding Micah Potter finally his first field goal.
Wisconsin works on this religiously. You get in the paint, big slide open. Micah Potter, take a deep breath, big fella. You're finally playing again.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire, but my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, together, we're going to rebuild. We've got 25 employees who depended on it, and that's all that mattered to me. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. Incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance.
Switched and got a phone for free. Fa la 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 la. With no activation fees.
Fa la 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 la. I want every light to glow. Fa la 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 la.
Maybe after one more show. Fa la 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 la. Oh.
Get yourself what you really want this holiday season. Switch to US Cellular and get a free smartphone with no activation fees. US Cellular. Choose fair.
The secret to relaxation? No, not this. This Canada Dry Ginger Ale. Join me on a journey of the mind, the soul, and real ginger taste. Relax. So, are you ready for the journey, Elizabeth?
How did you get in here anyway?
I've been living in the attic with a family of owls. Relax with the real ginger taste of Canada Dry.
I like giving the best tech gifts and saving serious coin.
Samsung makes amazing tech, and we're having a Samsung sale right now.
Wow, you must be...
an angel?
I was gonna say cold.
Save on everything from Samsung big screen TVs to appliances.
Discover card? Hi, do you have a travel card? We do. The Discover It Miles card. Earn unlimited 1.5 miles on every purchase. Plus, we'll match your miles at the end of your first year. You'll match my miles? Yeah, mile for mile. And no blackout dates or annual fee. Nice. I was thinking about taking a scuba diving trip. I love that. Or maybe go surfing. Or not. Okay, maybe somewhere else. Maybe a petting zoo. Can't go wrong. Can't get eaten.
Earn miles. We'll match them at the end of your first year. Plus, no annual fee or blackouts. The Discover It Miles card.
If his underwear's off key, gift him some glee. Duluth is Yule with underwear. Only at Duluth Trading.
Basketball on BTN is presented by Jeep. The big Jeep finish event is here, so hurry in and end the year with a great deal. And brought to you by State Farm. Talk to an agent today. Bucky Badger in the house, celebrating the holidays. Another trip planned before conference play begins again. Wisconsin heading to Tennessee to take on the Volunteers. They're back here on New Year's Eve before they get back into Big Ten conference action. As Anderson missed the first.
And you see the three-point shooting there. Wisconsin shoots 40% from the three-point line at home, so nothing too rare there, but Milwaukee shooting 70%. That's just, I mean, guys, look, when I was at shoot-around, I saw they had shooters, but they just hadn't put it into the game. Wisconsin's allowing them to get confidence, and a lot of it was going to the rim early, and then in transition, making extra passes. I've really been impressed by the way they play basketball.
They look inside this time, and a miss on the bunny by Harrison Henderson. Chance to add to their lead, not to be. And lean forward with the position down low. The double comes. Darius Roy nearly stole it away. There's Davison on the floor. Shocker.
Oh.
5 to shoot. Got to get going for the Badgers. Inside, Potter. That'll get your heart pumping.
I watched Micah Potter do that his first practice with Wisconsin, as I didn't know he had it in him. He has it. He has athleticism. Nice to see a Badger big man throw it down like that with someone by him.
Tyler Barrett on the floor for the first time for Wisconsin, or for Milwaukee, I should say. Thomas step back over Potter. Rare miss for Thomas. Entry pass, Potter lost it. He was thinking about another poster. He got one here.
The Badgers strung together a couple stops late in the shot clock. Trevor Anderson strong with the ball, finds Potter, and you see a little roar from Micah Potter. He's just happy to be out there, I guarantee it.
Micah Potter, 6 points off the bench, a couple of turnovers in 5 minutes. Tough look from Darius Roy. He's going to go to the line. First trip to the charity stripe for Milwaukee.
And you mentioned Potter. Again, he's not a player who's going to create a lot of his own offense, but he's going to be in the right spots. I feel like I didn't even see the 6 points happen. Next thing you know, he's got 6 points. But he took care of business at the free throw line, finished around the rim a couple times. A lot of this is going to be making individual plays, but being in the right spot, and that's what this team needs.
Roy hits the first. Later tonight on BTN, The Big Show delivers highlights, post-game interviews, expert analysis, and all the news and notes from around the conference. Don't miss The Big Show tonight at 11 Eastern on BTN and the Fox Sports app. Loaded day in the conference for hoops. Only one game on the slate for tomorrow. Everybody else in action today. One-point deficit for the Badgers. Entry pass from Anderson, not a great one, but chance to recover, still plenty of time. Trice to Aleem Ford. Now Trice again from the wing. What a start for Demetric Trice. 13 points to lead all scorers.
I really would love to see the Badgers get Aleem Ford and Demetric Trice isolated on the wing like they were there, because that pick and pop, Aleem Ford slipped the screen, opened up, got his guy up in the air, and found Trice again, similar to what happened earlier in the game.
Touching the paint, dig it back out. Thomas testing that ankle of Kobe King, held up. 6 to shoot. Roy with Reavers on him. Roy, a high arcing shot. That one almost hit the scoreboard.
Yeah, he did what he had to do. Good defense by Nate Reavers. He's tall, he's long, and Roy put it up. I mean, it almost hit the Jumbotron, it felt like.
Nope, can't stop me. He shaking his head all the way down the floor. Roy with 10 points. Reavers by himself down low.
Pretty good patience by Reavers. They've double teamed him a couple times. They've been sporadic in what they've done. Didn't have a double team, turned, faced, knocked it down.
Under a minute to play in this first half. Been a very well played first half for both teams, especially on the offensive end. Anderson forces the turnover. Nimble feet. Demetric Trice. Reavers. Now they'll pull it back out smartly. Trying to get this crowd with a bit of excitement heading into the halftime break. Anderson, 3-ball. In and out.
Right decision. He went under the screen. Trevor shot it with confidence, just didn't go down.
He's been hitting.
Coach Guard yelling to foul as the Badgers have a couple fouls to give.
And they will. 7.9 left on the game clock. Demetric Trice picks up his second foul. And one more to before foul shots. They had that last one to give as Tyler Wall's going to check in for Kobe King.
And my thing with fouls to give is if he's not looking and ready to go yet, don't just foul. Wait for him to start driving before you just use it. You say foul. I think foul once he starts going.
See what Milwaukee comes up with, and there's the foul.
The Wisconsin fouls on Trevor Anderson is first, the team's sixth.
Now free throws coming on the next whistle, if there is one. 6.7 seconds in this first half. Milwaukee has played great, making a ton of shots, 57% from the floor, 7 out of 10 from beyond the arc. There's a deep three by Tijon Lucas. Not going to bank in that time. And Trice holds for the final horn. And that takes us into the locker rooms. A 2-point lead for Wisconsin.
That's what got him going right there. Getting with confidence, a nice spin move on Micah Potter. And, he's got a couple hockey assists. I know that doesn't show up in the box score, but the way he's ran in transition and got others involved, plus the swag that he's carrying this Milwaukee team, we have ourselves a ball game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And he's happy to erase those 2 goose eggs that he had against Wisconsin as a member of the Fighting Illini a couple of years ago before the transfer. I mean, it's a totally different Tijon Lucas today.
Maybe that's the synopsis of why. He just never was comfortable in that system with Brad Underwood. And Patrick Baldwin is giving him the freedom to really run this team. He's done a great job so far.
See what Wisconsin does coming out of the break. Again, Kobe King had that left ankle injury, missed a little bit of time. He's on the floor. But how is his athleticism? His fadeaway, no good that time. And Milwaukee out on the run.
I don't want to read too much into it, but it did not look like he had a great lift on that jump shot.
Saw him get tested a little bit at the tail end of that first half. It's Darius Roy, another high floater. Couldn't go for him this time.
Yeah, if he's going to have to shoot over Nate Reavers and shoot that high every time, I'll take the percentage chance for Wisconsin.
Trice fouled on his drive by Thomas. We've seen a couple of big-time rainbows from Darius Roy already in this ballgame, but again, high percentage, not so much.
We've seen rainbows. We saw Courtney Brown hit a bank 3 from the right wing. I've never seen one actually like that from that angle. It was incredible.
It's a tough thing to do. He didn't call it either. It was confirmed at halftime.
DeAndre Abram had a bank 3. We'll see what's next.
Got a lot of time in this second half to go. And I think a lot of this game and the story is yet to be written. It's a 2-point lead for the Badgers. Trice driving with the right hand. Little baby hook. That was pretty.
Stole that from Xavier Simpson from Michigan. But again, if you're Milwaukee and that shot clock hits 10 for the Badgers, you have to force Dimitri Trice away from that right hand.
Trice with 15, already a season high. His previous season high was 11. Most points since he put up 18 against Northwestern in January. 4-point lead, errant pass, and it ends up in the hands of Roy. 4 to shoot. There's a more traditional floater. Still couldn't get it to go. Davis is going to slow it down.
1 on 5. I don't think that's the numbers.
The percentage was not in his favor there.
Little double team on Nate Reavers. It's interesting to see how they adjust from half to half. Nate Reavers had a nice jump shot with no double team to end the half. Maybe adjusting here.
Trice again. He was feeling it. Reavers couldn't come down with the offensive rebound. There was a lot of points in the paint as well for Milwaukee in that first half. Feeding and a foul by Reavers.
It's a really, really good pass from him. You saw Kobe King sitting in the lane trying to take a charge. He sidestepped that and found his guy.
Sessoms will go to the line, and here's another look at the foul.
Excuse me, Davison looking to take the charge, sliding around that because Davison knows how to time it up where if you pass and run into him, it still could be a charge. Also has to learn to be smarter, Davison, this year about the contact, if he can fall back or not, which might have played a factor into how much contact was there.
Not a bad foul. Sessoms, who is now 10 out of 20 from the foul line, hits the first. King and Ford check out. Pritzel and Wall check in for Wisconsin.
Who knows about the numbers today, though? 31% three-point shooting team for Milwaukee. In the first half, they were 63% from 3.
7 out of 11. Sessoms makes 1 out of 2. That's his percentage.
At least something stayed right for us on the numbers.
Darius Roy all over Dimitri Trice. Thought there was a double dribble there. Reavers for 3. And Roy looking to run.
Good look.
Going baseline, and Wall fouled Thomas on the drive. Tyler Wall, the freshman out of Minnesota. A great guard, really likes what he's seen from Tyler Wall. Still a lot of growth to be had, though.
Especially because he's in the ball game already with those quick subs of Aleem Ford and Kobe King. Kobe King playing with that ankle brace right now, but to trust Tyler Wall, you know, this early in the season as a freshman, he's getting more and more minutes. He does a lot of great things. He's active, uses that length there to affect the jump shot. Those are small things that he can bring.
Out of bounds off of Milwaukee. It'll be the Badgers basketball. 3-point lead, and Wisconsin's been looking for depth on that front line all year long. Now that Potter is available, now Tyler Wall is stepping up. You're looking at a team that basically your entire front line was Reavers and Ford, and that was it.
And there's no getting around. I thought Nate Reavers played too many minutes, but because he had to, because he was the only option, he was tired. He turned the ball over a lot. This could provide him an opportunity to be more fresh and elevate and finish over the defense, where at times it looked like he couldn't even jump. He was so tired.
Well, that was a good move right there by Nate Reavers. Reavers with 14 points. A really quiet 14. Tough shot by Tijon Lucas. Glass was not so friendly to him that time. Now Roy over the top. And Trice with a long rebound.
It's not the shot you want to see after a good offensive rebound from Milwaukee, is a three-pointer on an open kick-out.
Wall looking for help. Now Davison. Still plenty of time in that shot clock.
This is in Milwaukee's favor. Demetric Trice going to his left, see if it affects things.
Behind the screen of Reavers. And Trice comes up with a loose ball. Fortunate for the Badgers. Reavers goes to work with the left hand. Fouled by Sessoms. That'll be his second. Talking about the front line again and how much Greg Gard has had to lean on Reavers and Ford.
I mean, it shows right here. These are big numbers in every category, and I think it's affected them from a fatigue standpoint. On the road, Aleem Ford has 6 assists and 12 turnovers. Nate Reavers, 2 assists to 15 turnovers. I think it's a direct correlation of the minutes played on this front line. Exactly why, again, Micah Potter, he didn't have the best half of basketball, but he provided something: 6 points, a rebound, some effort, knocked down free throws. It is so key for them to have someone who can help relieve the pressure from Nate Reavers.
You see the depth issues again. These are the career starts. Reavers and Ford, all of them. Everybody else, that might change at some point over the course of the year, but this is a rotation, the starting 5, and say what you want about starting lineups because you use so many guys as it is over the course of a game, but who you start with is important.
Yeah, and you can be strategic. You always want a guy who's going to come off the bench and bring some energy, change it up, mix it up.
Didn't like the foul. Fritzl thought he had a breakaway. Instead, he picks up the personal. 7-point lead for Wisconsin at home.
Humira patients, you inspire us. The way you triumph over adversity and live your lives. That's why we redesigned Humira. We wanted to make the experience better for you. Now there's less pain immediately following injection. We've reduced the size of the needle and removed the citrate buffers. And it has the same effectiveness you know and trust. Humira citrate-free is here. A little change can make a big difference.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Ask your doctor about Humira citrate-free. Here's to you.
Christmas trees try so hard. Lights and ornaments and little choo-choo trains, come on. The best trees, they kind of only need 2 things. Peanut butter and chocolate. Not sorry, Reese's.
Hey, did you know it's easy for Fuel Rewards members to score big at Shell? Download the Fuel Rewards app to join and start saving today. Save at least 10 cents a gallon on Big Ten Tuesdays at Shell. Visit fuelrewards.com/Big10 for details.
He's a visionary. The most powerful man in college sports. The smartest man in the room, whether you know it or not.
When you can last the test of time, you got to be doing a lot right.
SmackDown at 8 Eastern, only on Fox.
Seven-point lead for Wisconsin here at home. 15:59 to go. Getting into the swing of the holiday season. And earlier today, oh, who's that? That's Ben Brust. That's my partner. Look at this shot. Half court, no glass. There were a couple of witnesses to say, yes, it went in. Hey, but how about we go back to February 9th, 2013. This was Ben Brust in his one shining moment.
You guys pulled a fast one on me, huh?
Yeah, that was our promo.
Was this planned?
Yeah.
I like it. Well, what they didn't show was the 9 half-court attempts pregame that I missed.
Okay, well, that's all right.
I shouldn't have said that, right?
No,
there was no need.
All that matters is that was your one shot. You were 1 for 1, and you quit. Nicely done, Ben. You still got it in the tank.
Thanks, Jeff. To pull up the pants, those were falling down.
Again, we didn't need to hear that. And we're going to get an offensive foul. Brevin Pritzel. We pick up the personal. Again, look at this. You still got it. Release, rotation.
Wow, see, that's more like it. That's
a miss. We got the jeans.
How's that look, Jeff?
It looks really good. With a fancy watch on, too.
Got the Cole Haans, the comfy shoes you can get out there.
Yeah.
Nice lob play.
Beautiful. Set up perfectly to DeAndre Abram.
Tajon Lucas, a nice, perfect pass. It floated in the air. DeAndre Abram didn't play last 2 games, actually bringing a nice energy for Milwaukee here.
Wisconsin is yet to, as Micah Potter just missed on the dunk, nearly brought down the hoop in the backboard area. He's going to go to the line, shoot a couple of free throws, but man, Milwaukee running some nice plays.
Trevor Anderson got screened there. Tyler Wall and Micah Potter, 2 guys who are not as familiar with this Wisconsin program. Micah Potter needs to come back off his man. His guy is not a shooter, but Micah Potter showing that athleticism. Although he missed, I love the aggressiveness.
We've seen that play a lot, and that's kind of the calling card of this Wisconsin program, too. It goes back to your time and before that as well. Drive baseline, look for that big to come streaking down.
And a lot of the times you have to shot fake. He doesn't have to. He gets high enough where I love that he gets off the ground quick enough where he beats the defender up there.
Potter with 8 points off the bench.
4 of 4 from the line is impressive.
Doing his work. This is where Wisconsin, a much better free throw shooting team this year, too. #1 in the conference, 18th in the country. Tajon Lucas trying to go around Potter, and Potter blocked it. They were looking for a cylinder violation. Abram instead knocks down the jumper.
I guess the basketball gods wanted to make sure they were rewarded there. So it did look like Micah Potter might have used the net and affected it a little bit. Might not have gone in, but it was enough to cause that basket to move and interfere.
Potter down low. Davison now just outside the free throw line. He has not taken many shots today. As a matter of fact, just his second. Roy going around the edge. Abram banked in a 3 from that spot on the other side of the floor earlier. Seven to shoot. Knocked out of bounds, and it's off of Abram.
A lot of one-on-one there for Milwaukee. They were getting the ball moving. They were coming off ball screens in the first half. A little bit stagnant. They've slowed down only 4 points since halftime.
Just 2 of 9 from the floor so far, and you see the turnovers. Milwaukee, a team that turns the ball over 13.5 times a game. At times gets a little loose with the basketball. Potter, top of the key. He's got that in his game. He's not afraid to shoot from distance.
He's going to learn the first, I'm going to get pulled for something I did, I believe, as after that shot, Nate Reavers popped up for the guard.
He's got the towel ready to give to Micah Potter, and again, here's the look from Potter.
And I think he taps his chest saying, my bad. Well, you know, it might be your bad when you're coming out and you're going to learn no matter what.
In a previous regime, he might not see the floor for a nice long stretch. Lucas Went to his seat. Abram for three, no, and it ends up in the hands of Davison.
Good numbers for Wisconsin here. Good look by Davison.
And he finds Reavers. Good vision from Brad.
And good patience. They did have a 3-on-2. It didn't look like there was anything there. He hit King on the wing. King didn't see anything, threw back to Davison. Reavers ran the floor, beat his man down, and a precise pass and finish for Wisconsin.
A 7-point lead. Haven't been those big runs for either team in this game to this point. Wisconsin opened up on a 9-0 run, but Milwaukee came right back as Roy goes to the rack. He's fouled by Reavers. And here's the vision again from the former quarterback.
Well, he definitely has it. He's running the point, gives it up to King. Again, you'll see Wilborn trail behind. Really no sense of urgency. That gave Brad Davison the angle and a good pass. I mean, his hand was up, but he knew he wasn't paying attention. Didn't get a hand on it. Reavers finishes.
Darius Roy to the line to shoot a couple. And for Brad Davison, who had that outstanding freshman season, very well chronicled with the 8 separated shoulders, was healthy last year, but the numbers just weren't there. He's transformed his body. Of course, 2 years on a college campus, and you get the weight room and the food program and all that stuff. He looks like a different guy physically, but just the numbers haven't been there for him yet.
Yeah, and I think what's tough is when you are a freshman and you take on the role that he had, that's all he learned and knew as a freshman, so he's still trying to just figure out, what do I need to be for this program?
Trice got tapped by Thomas.
You put 2 hands on someone, it's going to be a foul every single time.
It's the 4th team foul on Milwaukee. Wisconsin already with 16 fouls. They had plenty to play with at the end of the first half, but one more, and Milwaukee is in the bonus.
Milwaukee's just kind of hanging around 5 right now. Trice obviously extends that to 7 there, but Wisconsin strung a couple stops together. If they can get a stop here and maybe get this to 9-10, it's a little bit more comfortable. You never want to relax, but get it to somewhere where you're not stressed.
Combination of Reavers and Trice have combined for 35 to 55. Roy, acrobatic. A day for Darius Roy. He's got 16.
And a couple possessions before, he did draw a foul on Nate Reavers. Earlier in the game, he's been shooting a lot of rainbow shots, so I think he's trying to make sure he keeps the matchup that he wants to get to where he wants on the floor.
Double comes for King. Someone's open. Trice looking up at the shot clock, 10 to shoot. Pass, Reavers drives. Reavers was fouled, and he's going to go to the line. Abram didn't think so. They might have got Wilborn. Again, Darius Roy having a great day and controlling what he wants to in the painted area.
Yeah, he's had trouble with Reavers, but there he elevates and finishes over Brad Davison, cooking up some spaghetti. I don't know what you like to eat for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, but he's having fun.
You have spaghetti on Christmas Day, Ben?
Usually beef tenderloin, I want to say.
Okay.
What about you? What's the family do?
I think we're doing a tenderloin this year.
It's the thing.
It kind of changes.
It's the thing. Look what we're doing.
Yeah. I've never seen anybody do that with tenderloin.
Yes, cook up tenderloin like it's...
Back in from Milwaukee, Courtney Brown.
Pot roast is popular. Some have the whole shell crabs.
What's your side dish?
Whatever's available.
Whatever's cooked up.
Yeah, garbage disposal.
Darius Roy can do it for you. He's
right.
ready to go.
He's all set. Give me an apple pie and I'm all set. 7-point lead. Nate Reavers with his 3rd 20-point game of the year. The way that Ben was hammering the cookies at halftime, he's ready for some dessert. I know that. Go inside. Reavers battling. He forced a bad shot from Amir Allen.
And that's what he can do with his length without fouling. It might have been close. I see Patrick Baldwin, wanting his guys to go into the contact, but Nate Reavers has been a tale of 2 people as well. He's averaging the most points on the road, but turning it over and shooting a worse percentage. He's got it in him. Good look here.
Davison got his man in the air. There's Trice. He's had the hot hand all night long.
And that was the hockey assist by Nate Reavers. He got it to a position where he found Brad Davison. Brad Davison, a guy who you said earlier, Jeff, has only shot twice. He didn't force it. He found the guy who's had the hot hand. Great job by the backers.
First 20-point game since the opener Big Ten play last year for Demetric Trice. He's been doing it all night long. He's got 20.
Taco Bell party packs are available for delivery. Nothing can stop us now. What does everyone want tonight? Tacos, tacos. And what's gonna start this party off right? Tacos, tacos. You can call us crazy, that's okay. We'll get party packs delivered any day. Tacos. Bring the party with Taco Bell Party Packs. Get your first delivery free on orders of $12 or more, only on Grubhub.
Nationwide helps you invest for your future, Brad, so you can plan for retirement and save for college.
Oh, that explains this.
The Nationwide Dome, state-of-the-art venue, 80-yard screen, fantasy sports lounge, climate-controlled seats, sushi bar, club-level pool.
Really?
Lastly, retractable roof.
Whoa.
Are you kidding me? Peytonville showed no mercy.
Go Peytons.
Kind of lackluster.
Yeah, still working out some kinks.
Who are they playing?
The Brads. Worst team in the league, of course.
This is Emma. She cares about her kids and our environment. And this is Nate. He loves his car and loves to drive. They both fill up with Unleaded 88. Emma knows Unleaded 88 keeps our air cleaner and healthier. Nate knows Unleaded 88 is safe for his engine with higher octane for better performance. And they both really like the money they save at the pump. Emma and Nate think Unleaded 88 is pretty darn great. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind.
Interesting clock.
Oh, there weren't enough hours in the day to maintain our old data center, so we made the 12 a 15. 3 extra hours.
But that really doesn't add hours to the day.
Yeah, it does. Look.
I'm not sure it works that way, but at CDW, we get the time is precious. So we'd assess your needs, then design a Nutanix Enterprise Cloud to give you more time to grow your business.
Yeah, that's better.
Hey, we still on for lunch at 15 o'clock?
You bet.
For private cloud solutions, you need Nutanix and IT orchestration by CDW.
There's no way to get around it, Ben. This was a Wisconsin team really struggling to hit three-pointers this season, but tonight, different story.
Yeah, everyone's getting involved too. Aleem Ford, you saw Pritzl earlier. Nate Reavers can make it when he's got that space. And Dimitri Trice has played really, really well today. But what I loved about that possession was the assist from Davis, and he didn't force it. And these two guys have been on a roll. Nate Reavers, again, the story for him is he struggled at home. He's got outplayed physically. Here, I like his patience, I like his poise. And it all started with Dimitri Trice. It really did. He's the guy who got a bucket early, and his whole night changed from there.
Scored 7 of the first 9 points to Dimitri Trice to open up this game, and so much of this game is confidence to begin with anyway. And we're going to get a foul on Reavers. That is his third. And that will take us to another timeout. 10-point lead for the Badgers.
Finally, a little quiet time, huh?
Oh, my goodness. I love you. Yes, it's true. There's no one else I choose. This may not completely right.
But I'd be totally lost without you.
Save on a gift that says it all.
Jared.
What are you doing, man?
There you go.
The Range Rover Velar with heated massage seats. Land Rover, above and beyond.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was going to spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
Play it cool and escape heartburn fast with Tums Chewy Bites Cooling Sensation.
No matter how early you're up or how late you're running, when you start your day at Speedway, we've got what you need to have a good morning. We've got it hot, we've got it cold, we've got it sprinkled, we've got it ready. No matter where you're heading or what you're craving, we're here to make your morning a little better. Because when you get off to a better start, you go on to a better day.
Wisconsin up on UWM 60-50, 11:09 to play in the second half. And all season long, BTN will be bringing awareness to the Coaches vs. Cancer program in collaboration with the National Association of Basketball Coaches. Coaches vs. Cancer works to unite coaches and fans to help the American Cancer Society fight cancer. Back with you at the Kohl Center. Dimitri Trice with a cool 20. Same with Nate Reavers. And Ben, the Wisconsin defense has really done a nice job in the second half on swelling on the scorers of Milwaukee. Just 3 for 12 so far, and they've yet to hit a 3 in the second half.
I think they did a good job on the offensive end, taking good shots, because a lot of it in the first half was bad shots that led to Tajon Lucas being able to get out in space and find the guys he wants to get to.
Lucas with a miss there. Micah Potter on the floor. Reavers on the bench with 3 fouls. Not a ton of foul trouble to speak of as Trice raises up, hits another jumper. He's got 22.
That's all just confidence right there, and it continues to be coming off the ball screen. Nice job by Greg Gard out of that timeout. Really just, that was the play. I mean, it was get Dimitri Trice the ball. Micah Potter set a screen. He rose over the defense with that right hand.
He looks like a totally different guy from the one that took just 2 shots in New Jersey last time out 10 days ago. Thomas got it knocked away by Davison. They got numbers as Davison has to track down that pass. Trice, beautiful.
Oh.
And then they throw it away. That was kind of disjointed to begin with. A lot of acrobatic plays to keep the ball in play, but wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, and they had an opportunity. Micah Potter got in the post and really just threw it away. But you'll see here a great steal by Brad Davison getting a deflection. And when Micah Potter gets it, I really do. I think you see it, Jeff. He's still trying to slow down. The game's a little fast for him right now. And that's bound to happen when you haven't played in 644 days.
It's a long time.
I don't. Do you know what you were doing?
I think I was at spring training on St. Patrick's Day. That's all I know.
That's a safe bet.
Yeah, very safe bet. March. Tajon Lucas misses, and Micah Potter pulls down another rebound. Potter with 8 points, give him 4 rebounds now. Kind of what we thought we might get out of Micah Potter, right?
Yeah, and again, active, athletic. He's not going to break you down or make a crazy post move. He's going to try and get to his spot, rise up, and see that really isn't his game. He's been at the right position on some drop-off passes. Not that they shouldn't give him the ball to make some plays. It's just not what he does best. You'll see here, he's going to set a screen. He's going to go post up, and he asked for the ball, just still feeling it out.
He's going to go to the line. He's perfect from the free throw stripe today. 4 for 4. Made that one. No, it doesn't exist. Don't forget tomorrow on BTN, don't miss a great women's hoops matchup when Ali Patberg leads 12th ranked Indiana against number 10 UCLA. It's tomorrow at noon Eastern on BTN and the Fox Sports app. And Potter in double figures. He had 5 double-digit games in his career at Ohio State. It's his first as a Badger, and of course his first game.
And he shot a 3 a little bit earlier in the game, and it looked good. It looked solid, and the free throws, they've looked good. He really doesn't have, as Courtney Brown throws it to the referee, he really doesn't have athletic skills where he's going to use the dribble to create the space, but he's got skills where he can catch with space and knock down a jump shot. It's just not going to be creating for himself.
Second half, Milwaukee being really loose with the basketball. We didn't see a lot of this in the first half from the Panthers. The Badgers now on a 9-0 run.
And the Badgers gave up Tajon Lucas a 3 wide open, but I'm actually more okay with that than him coming down in transition with rhythm pulling up.
Darius Roy did not agree with that call from Ryan McNutt, the official. Yeah, we got 1-and-1 coming for Brad Davison.
At the line for the Badgers, Brad Davison.
Still trying to figure out this Wisconsin team. And again, this is game number 11. They've got Tennessee on the road. And then they have Rider University on New Year's Eve before Big Ten play opens up again.
they desperately need to just play better on the road. Tennessee's a team that obviously went to the Sweet 16 last year. They're a solid program. Rick Barnes does a great job at Tennessee. I don't think their team's as good as last year, but you still need to win a game on the road. It might not be one that's going to show up on the resume later in the year, but you still need to do it because you don't want that record to be 6-6 or something like that as you head after that game.
Tijon Lucas has been quiet in the second half. Intend to shoot from Milwaukee. Thomas with Pritzel on it. Thomas also has been quiet. Nearly got away with a double dribble, and a tough shot falls for Josh Thomas. As you know, Ben, this Big Ten Conference, one of the best in the country, top to bottom. As Trice tries to drive, he's going to go to the line. There are no easy games in the conference. Rutgers is better. Penn State is better. Even playing a team like Nebraska, who is having a tough year. Nebraska playing in Lincoln is a tough game. Northwestern at home is a tough game.
Everywhere is. Northwestern, they're Jekyll and Hyde. Everyone's Jekyll and Hyde, it seems like. It's Nebraska, they beat Purdue at home. Purdue beat Virginia by 27 or something like that at home. So if you try and do the schedule game this year, it's like that every year, but I keep saying this year, look at all these teams in the Big Ten that are ranked in the top 60 of the net rankings. The net rankings essentially, it's replaced the RPI. What it means is you have teams that the NCAA is respecting the schedule, they respect what they've done from a record standpoint. The Big Ten has challenged themselves in the Power 5 non-conference where you got to play a bunch of games, and that will pay dividends now. Because now when you're beating each other, if you can steal some big games on the road, that's going to stand out.
Walt McGrory checks in for Brad Davison, largest lead of the game for Wisconsin. The net rankings, again, I need to take a class on it to figure it out. It's kind of like quarterback rating.
QBR, all those.
QBR, all these great things. Baseball, FIP, all sorts of different acronyms in baseball, but
I hope you know those.
I know some of them, the important ones I know. But nonetheless, you come up with different algorithms and different ways to skew numbers. But at the end of the day, you're going to earn every single win within the conference in the Big Ten.
I was really just saying, you know how you get rid of, like, am I on the bubble, am I this or am I that? Just win. You're going to have enough of these games. If you win a bulk of your games, if this Wisconsin team was 14-6 in the Big Ten last year, if they're 12-8 in the Big Ten this year, that should be enough. 11-9 might be. So if you can get above 500 in the Big Ten, right now they're at that 1-1. I don't think 10-10 is going to do it because there's going to be other teams that have already had better wins in the non-conference that are going to put themselves ahead of the Badgers. So they just have to have a good Big Ten season. It's that simple. They're still alive despite it not feeling the greatest that a Badger fan would want it to feel.
Liam Ford knocks down another triple, his second three-pointer of the ball game. And just to add on to that, with the amount of teams at number 1 that have lost, you saw another one today, Kansas losing to Villanova. So that's 5 number 1 teams that have lost before the new year. Never happened before. The bubble is going to be so big as Demetric Trice drives and he's got a new career high with 26 points.
You don't want to be in that bubble. And what you can do is beat a Tennessee, take care of Milwaukee here, take care of Rider, and then you have 6 of 8 games or pretty much right away in the Big Ten schedule that you're on the road. Those are the opportunities. The Badgers are going to have a great opportunity to show who they are and turn the tides from how people may have felt after the Rutgers game. Even though Rutgers isn't a bad loss, it's still perceived that way to people at times.
And beat Seton Hall earlier this week. And Seton Hall just took down Maryland. Well, the Badgers, they're up by 20. They're in control here. Feeling good heading into the holidays.
Hope you don't get seasick, because this place will be rocking.
I need some ideas for some new calls. Keep it fresh. Add some of that Gus Johnson flavor.
Speaking of flavor, we should try that sushi burrito truck.
Oh, hey, Julie.
Hey, Gus. I was just helping Joe combine his home and auto insurance, and I thought I'd pop by. You good?
Yep, couldn't be better.
Hard to be better than the best.
That's another defining victory for this unstoppable team. It's hard to be better than the best.
Home. It's so much more than a house. It's where family gets together and traditions are made.
By making the complex simple, Rocket Mortgage created a home buying experience centered around you, so you can turn your dream into reality and your house into home. Rocket Mortgage. Push button, get mortgage.
At T-Mobile, we're lighting up 5G. And when you buy a Samsung Note 10 Plus 5G, you get one free. Plus, you can experience it on the nation's largest 5G network. So you can stay connected like this, score a last-minute this, get home easier like this, and share all of this with that. So do this on that with us. And now, buy a Samsung Note 10 Plus 5G and get one free when you add a line.
There are over 1,000 suicides on college campuses a year. That statistic is very troubling. No one lives a life unaffected by mental illness in some way or another. The Bandana Project's a suicide prevention and mental health awareness campaign on campus. Students and staff tie a lime green bandana to their backpack, and that means that they carry a few resource cards to pass out if they're ever approached. One of the main goals is just to normalize the topic of help seeking. Every time you see the bandanas on campus is someone that cares, someone that is looking out for other people, that wants to help.
I think everyone, especially in college, definitely goes through some mental health issues because it's just such a stressful time and you get anxious and you're depressed about it, like test score or like a presentation. A lot of people are scared to find help or even talk about it with their friends. It's huge to just have the bandana to start this conversation.
Basketball on BTN is presented to you by State Farm. Talk to an agent today. Unseasonably warm in Madison on this great day. 20 for Wisconsin and Micah Potter. The much anticipated debut didn't start off great, Ben, but it's ended nicely.
Again, I can't understate how hard it is to do what you do in practice and translate it to a game. You have to get out in game speed, but he really did a great job of continuing just to play out there. And the plays you're going to see here are him just getting in the right spot. A nice slip. Trevor Anderson finds him late in the shot clock. He showed his athleticism a bunch throughout the game. 10 points and 5 rebounds in about 11 minutes. So he's been efficient with his time, 6 for 6 from the line. Much needed for the Badgers.
You see Milwaukee apply a little bit more pressure now in the backcourt. Trying to cut into this 20-point deficit, largest lead of the game for the Badgers. Milwaukee's had a tough time shooting the ball in the second half. Some of those bank shots aren't going in now as Anderson lost it on the way up, and it will go to the Panthers.
They put the pressure on now, but despite the turnover by Trevor Anderson, there's 7 minutes left in that 20-point lead. As long as Wisconsin continues to run their offense and work the clock, it's going to be a tough go to come back on this team.
See Walt McGrory on the floor for the first time for Wisconsin. Courtney Brown short on his shot, long rebound, tapped out, and it ends up in the hands of the Panthers, and a foul going to be underneath.
If I had to guess who was coming in, Tyler Wall's coming in for, it's got to be a lean four. There's another example of how there was a loose ball and he kind of did the pity-patty type thing. You got to grab it, you got to chin it. I saw Micah Potter a couple possessions ago go up for the rebound, grabbed it with 2 hands and came down, and those small things are going to win you minutes with Coach Greg Garr because it's something they've been lacking. You saw the Rutgers game. The Rutgers game, they were out-rebounded, out-physicaled, all the things here, and that's what Micah Potter can bring.
Well, coming up on BTN, Great Day of Hoops continues when Cassius Winston leads the Spartans against Eastern Michigan. Then Luka Garza, the Hawkeyes, take on Cincinnati and Chicago. It's all still to come on BTN and the Fox Sports app. What a beast Luka Garza has been for Iowa so far.
He's been awesome. He's got great footwork. He can hit a 3. He can hit a mid-range. He'll pump fake you to death. He's going to do just about everything to find an angle. And it'll be interesting to see how Iowa responds with Jordan Bohannon not going to be with the program this year.
Garza, bloody nose, stitches, no big deal.
No big deal. When I say be with the program, he's going to be staying with the program, just not on the floor with his team.
Hip surgery for Bohannon, a big loss. There was a big debate on whether or not he was going to sit out and redshirt this year to begin with. Well, the surgery kind of took that out of everybody else's control.
In Iowa, they got beat pretty bad by DePaul, but they've actually put together a pretty good season so far, so there's no reason to say, hey, everything's over. They just got to learn how to play without Jordan Bohannon, which is no easy task, but they have a freshman in Joe Toussaint who's pretty good.
Took down Texas Tech. They were 13th in the country earlier this year. Brevin Pritzel on Darius Roy. Roy fouled on his drive.
Although it's no shot, I think it will end up being 2 shots here anyway.
Take a look around the rest of the conference today. We mentioned it's a jam-packed schedule. Everybody's in action with the exception of Rutgers, who plays tomorrow. Michigan beating Presbyterian earlier today. Purdue fell to Butler in the Crossroads Classic. I love that, by the way, the Crossroads Classic.
That's great.
Indiana. Michigan State later tonight. Iowa and Cincinnati later tonight as well on BTN. And a game that has a lot of implications and one you usually see come tournament time. Ohio State, Kentucky playing this afternoon.
Top 6 matchup. Ohio State just got beat down by Minnesota a week ago. They came back and won against Southeastern Missouri State, but this is an opportunity with all these Big Ten games for Ohio State to show who they are in the national stage. And I think right now they're the best team in the Big Ten from a record standpoint, from a strength of quality win standpoint. They've done it all, and another opportunity today.
A team that has flown under the radar is Illinois. Kofi Coburn is going to be a load.
He is. It's not going to be for a freshman to come in and do what he's done. 10 rebounds a game, 4 of which have been offensive. You see Nate Reavers turn and get that bucket. It's never that easy in the Big Ten. There are so many great big guys, from Xavier Tillman to Caleb Wesson to John Teskey, Luka Garza we mentioned. You could go to Daniel Oturu. Should I stop or keep going?
Keep going. Why not?
It's ridiculous what's in the league. Mike Watkins from Penn State.
Man, I feel like Watkins has been at Penn State
Forever.
for 10 years. Him
Well,
and Lamar Stevens.
He finally got his 1,000th point, so it's been there enough to get that.
A Penn State team ranked for the first time in nearly 20 years.
1996 was the last time.
Well, that is over 20 years. My math is off. That's 23. Dimitri Trice, he has had a whale of a game, adding to his career high. He's got 29.
I mean, that's just, we've talked about it, Jeff. It was the start of the game. He got the 7 of the first 9 points, and he continued to play with confidence. And again, it's great that he's scoring. I think he's doing even better with decision making, and that's going to be key for the Badgers, because they've struggled at times late in these tight games. Who are you going to go to? Who's going to make the play? And a lot of the times it falls on the point guard of Wisconsin.
And if you're a Badger fan and you're watching this game and you see Dimitri Trice do things like this, you go, man, he should be doing this all the time.
I think you could say that about just about every guy on this team. Kobe King does some stuff at home where you're like, he's going to put it together the rest of the year. Nate Reavers, we've seen it from Tyler Wall. We've seen it from Brevin Pritzel's a guy. There's so many guys on this team that have shown flashes. And I think as fans, you're like, you see it once, you're like, you can do it twice. And I can tell you what, the coaching staff on Wisconsin knows what they have. Just trying to find different ways to reach each individual to get them to all come together. Because there are enough pieces in the Big Ten we were just talking about, Jeff, with all the one-on-one teams, everything's in front of this team to have the opportunity to make a run, but it's on them to do so.
Yeah, consistency. Well, the defense has been really good today, holding this tough Milwaukee team to 60 points, one that averages better than 73 a game.
And 18 in the second half.
Yeah. The shot selection has been very difficult. There's Davison.
That's great. Like, I forget the missed shot by Davison. To see Trice come off the ball screen and not just look at the roll guy, but look at that skip pass. That is that next level thinking that he's got to continue to develop.
Tejon Lucas a miss, and Trice smartly pulls it back. Tejon Lucas just not having the ball fall for him in the second half, and Trice is going to go to the line. He was fouled. Trice with 29 points to lead all scorers.
The Milwaukee fouls, and Courtney Brown is second.
Courtney Brown picks up the personal. Tejon Lucas, as mentioned, had such a great first half. He has put up nothing in the second half.
Yeah, a lot of his shots this half have been fading away, and a couple of the bank shots that Milwaukee hit in the first half just aren't falling in the second half. But you got to give credit to the Badgers, because Nate Reavers continued to wall up and put his arms high and make them take tough shots. Some they were making and some they were giving Milwaukee, but this half, you know, altogether, they've been making them take tough shots.
Trice misses for just the second time all season from the free throw line. See Reavers chatting it up.
You think he's thinking about 30 here?
He should be.
Oh,
he missed it. Trying to become the first player since Ethan Happ to drop 30. Happ did it back on January 11th last year. Just let the record show I didn't say it. You did, Ben.
I called it earlier, and you didn't announce or jinx. I did.
It's okay. We really don't have anything to do with that.
I swear it has nothing to do with my career high being 29.
It's a bitter. There's Reavers with another block. He's got 3.
And he's fired up. He's in a game where they're up 18 points here, and he's smiling. He's winking at me with an ugly eye.
Thought he was winking at you with the left eye. Right one. Trying to go down low. Bounce pass. Dangerous down there. Wall trying to alter the shot, and we're going to get a foul underneath. And that will take us to a break. It's an 18-point lead. The Wisconsin Badgers here at home getting set for the holidays. I don't know. I'd be a little worried if Bucky were doing that to my beard, but he's Santa.
You don't have one.
Alexa, dim the lights.
Okay.
Oh, no, 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 no. Dad, I need your help.
What have you done?
Burnt the duck.
That's a duck? What do you have in that cabinet?
Some spaghetti.
Okay, chop up some garlic. Your mom cooked duck for me once.
Did she burn it?
Of course she did.
Of course she did.
Now it's beautiful. There you go.
How do I look?
Perfect.
Thanks, Dad.
What's his name?
Dad. Alexa, hang up.
These little cups would make great stocking stuffers. But how about right now in your mouth stuffers? Happy holidays to your mouth. Not sorry. Reese's.
I like giving the best tech gifts and saving serious coin.
Samsung makes amazing tech, and we're having a Samsung sale right now.
Wow, you must be
an angel.
I was gonna say cold.
Save on everything from Samsung big screen TVs to appliances.
Drivers just won't put their phones down. We need a solution. Introducing Smart Dogs, the first dogs trained to train humans, stopping drivers from liking, selfieing, and whatever this is. Available to the public? Never. Smart Dogs are not the answer. But Geico has a simple tip. Turn on Do Not Disturb while driving mode. Brought to you by Geico.
Wendy's makes every single hamburger with fresh, never frozen beef. It's no wonder we're the official hamburger of NCAA football. But we don't just make them for the officials. We also make them for the players, fans, and yes, even kickers. And right now, you can officially get your game day meal delivered through the Wendy's app.
Come check it out. We got game.
18-point lead for the Badgers. Mike DeCourcy and Mike Hall been watching it here, and we've been watching what you're watching, which is a rarity. 2 guys with career-high points scored in the same game.
That's 2 guys performing very well, obviously, Dimitri Trice and Nate Reavers, but it's also a reflection of a faster pace that Wisconsin started to play with that Indiana game, picking it up again, and we may see a little different Badgers group as we go through the year.
Mike and I are also getting ready for the game that's up next here on BTN. It's Eastern Michigan and Michigan State. That's in a bit, but for now, back out to Jeff and Ben.
All right, thanks, Mike and Mike, an 18-point lead. Hey, look, it's Bella.
I missed it. What happened?
Oh, it's a Santa hat with a name on it. That's a good-looking sweater, too. You know what? That sweater is perfect to tell you what happened in the Big Ten Conference in that initial 2-game spurt. It was crazy.
It's a puzzle piece you can't put together.
No.
If you try to, you're not going to understand it. I mean, Nebraska. They win at home against Purdue. They take Indiana into overtime. Pick a team other than Michigan State, and there's a story behind each team. Maryland, they've lost their last 2 games. You don't know what's going to happen. I think that's fun. It's opportunities for each of those teams. Within those next 2 games that we're going to get out of January, it's going to be fun to see who wants to grasp that opportunity.
You see, the home teams won 13 out of the 14 and took the last game, Michigan State, to win on the road in order to get a road victory, and that was even a tough one with Northwestern.
They only won by 5, and Northwestern's been Jekyll and Hyde. Everyone has. Again, if you look at Wisconsin's numbers from a home and away standpoint, we showed it a little bit throughout the broadcast today. It's shooting numbers, and look, I mentioned earlier, in Hoosiers, they walked into Hinkle Fieldhouse and they measured it. It's all the same. So what does it tell you? It's confidence. It's in your own head. You have to create. Just I don't care what you do, whether it's the music you listen to. Just treat it the same way that you do at home, because this team has looked completely different. Whether it's turnovers or offensive rebounds, If you play like Wisconsin does, and that's lower amount of possessions overall than most teams, you can't make those mistakes. You got to give yourself those shots, especially if you're not shooting that well.
We talked about it earlier about the recipe for success on the road and what you need to do on the road in the Big Ten Conference. You've been able to do it. You physically have done it. How do you win on the road?
How do you win on the road? Well, you eliminate mistakes, bad turnovers, bad shots. Those lead to easy breaks where, you know, when you're a home team and you get those opportunities, I feel like every time the ball goes in, the crowd goes wild. Your best players, they need to play well. The Nate Reavers of the world, which Kobe King, who scored 16 points at home, they need to play well. And as you see them continue to get offensive rebounds and play hard, that's what you want to see. But this team has a capability. You need guys to step up.
Getting a little bit more depth with Micah Potter available now after the transfer. That's been a big story for us to talk about today. I think for a guy like Nate Reavers, that helps so much.
Totally. Again, he's played way too many minutes, but not by choice. It's just what's been put upon the Badgers. He's looked so tired. He's turned the ball over. He's been sloppy with it. And Micah Potter, as winning on the road, sometimes it's making those game-winning plays. And Micah Potter's shown with his athleticism, with his toughness, with his rebounding, those are things that would translate to helping them win on the road.
Making their free throws, again, by Ethan Happ not being here and late in games. And it's been well chronicled how a poor free throw shooter he was, but that affects you late in games for Wisconsin over the last 4 years. This is such a better free throw shooting team this season. And you don't want to say that it was all Happ, but at the end of the day, those are points. Those are big points you're going to get. And because you're a good free throw shooting team, that's only going to bode well moving forward.
And sometimes, as crazy as it sounds, when you watch somebody shoot poor from the free throw line, it just kind of translates to what you're doing. As we see another one that I lost in the lights.
I just have to laugh. Darius Roy has been doing it all day long. He has 25 points, another rainbow three for him. 25 points and at least 24 in each of his last 3. Practice that one in the backyard. Wall drives and another reset under 2 to play. Here goes Trice. And he's fouled and he's going to go to the line. So still with a chance to best Ben Brust's all
Should
time.
I just sit here silent and not jinx anything?
Yes,
all right,
you should.
I'm done until he makes one.
Okay. So you can speak after he makes a free throw, okay? Yeah, there you go. You passed the first test. Way to go. Now, if he misses both, I'm in a world of trouble because then you're not talking for the rest of the game. And he made the first.
There we go. I'm back. I'm here. I promise.
There's 30.
And I think the crowd knows. They put his stats up there. They see he's got 29, so you get a little bit more of a round of applause. I'm sure they were rooting for him to make it the last time, too.
Yeah, Reavers has matched his career high with 22. He had 22 earlier this year against St. Mary's. As Trice makes both. 81-64, 151 to play. See some subs coming in for Milwaukee, and Davison just got popped, and he is not feeling very comfortable right now.
He's hitting the floor because I think it's an injury where he's probably going to end up being okay, but he's going to see it black and blue. It's going to hurt for a little bit. Never want to see that happen late in the game where you're up 17.
Davis coming around the curl, and the foul is right there. That is a hip-to-hip shot.
Hip pointer, maybe up in the ribs, but yeah, Harrison Henderson, he got him. He got him pretty good in a vulnerable spot, too. But Brad Davison, this isn't something he's not seen before. He's had his shoulder pop out. Again, he hit the floor because he's like, I got to deal with this right now. I have to deal with another stinger.
Mentioned a lot of games going on BTN today. Full slate of games. One of those on BTN Plus, North Dakota at Nebraska. And North Dakota, the Fighting Hawks, with a 5-point lead on the road against Fred Hoiberg's club.
Yeah, I saw North Dakota a little bit earlier this season against Minnesota, and Rebracha you saw there. They got a big guy that's going to bring it to Nebraska, but look, Hoiberg's going to figure it out. There's no doubt about it. He has an opportunity to do what he did at Iowa State, which is bring the guys he wants there, play at a faster tempo, And you've seen that they can win some games, but they've also shown they can lose some games to teams, and that's college basketball. Again, don't try and figure it out. You won't.
College basketball is chaos, and it's not even March.
Imagine what it's going to be like in March, honestly.
We mentioned the bubble and not wanting to be on that bubble because it is so vast now. There's so many different teams that have the ability to make the tournament. We've seen these Final Four that get in and play against each other in North Dakota State a year ago, ends up losing to Duke in the first round, but the tournament is so fun.
It is. I mean, Stephen F. Austin went into Cameron Indoor Stadium this year, and if they could win on the road, imagine what teams can do on a neutral site when the magic and all that is in the air.
Seen it before. Crazier things have happened. UMBC over Virginia. A 16 knocked off a 1. All it takes is one time. Brevin Pritzel, the ball fake. Underneath, Potter slams it down. Potter with 12.
He is the only player on Wisconsin who could hit from that position, go up and dunk it. A nice feed from Brevin Pritzel. He dropped it in a spot where Micah Potter could gather. But I can't tell you enough how impressive it was just for him to get in that position, go up and dunk it. You see most guys go up or gather and give the defense time to get back. He went right up, beat the defense to the rim. Really impressive.
Potter with 12 points, 5 rebounds, and perfect from the free throw line, 6 for 6. Another thing to add on is we'll get a timeout as Trevor Anderson is hobbling off, and that is not a good sign for Trevor, who has worked so hard to come back from his ACL injury, and hopefully that's just a knee knock.
Yeah, the grimace is not what you want to see, and this is never good for the trust that you're trying to build with your body coming off of an ACL, right? You work so hard, and he's starting to play well. He's had 11 points at Rutgers. He's getting more minutes. He's a key piece because he's challenged Dimitri Trice by playing well, and Dimitri Trice responded by playing well today.
Get the scout team in here for Wisconsin. Michael Ballard is in there, as well as Cortland Cuevas and Carter Higginbottom. Ballard, everybody loves it when these guys are in and they hope they take a shot. It's almost as if you don't want to speak. Come on, guys, let's go. There's Walter McGrory, and it's going to be out of bounds off of Cuevas, and the Panthers get ready to go. And again, we talked about Trevor Anderson, and he's on the bench now. This is what happened. Look on the far side of the screen, and his banging knees, it looked like, with Harrison Henderson.
Yeah, you hope it in that situation it was just banging knees, because non-contact there is never a good thing if you're grabbing at something, but he's rubbing, and he probably knows his body better than anyone at this point.
Jumper by Mitchell, no, and the rebound corralled by Carter Higginbottom, and the Badgers can bleed this clock. This was a tough game at halftime. 43-41, Wisconsin was leading, but they totally took control of this game in the second half. Defense was outstanding today in the second half, Ben.
Only 23 gave up in the second half, which was the difference in the game, really. And not a lot changed other than Nate Reavers making sure he stayed solid, because they were making shots where we were like, whoa, you know, whether it was a bank shot or